Hello one and all, I am Paragraph 8 and today we will transform this Savanna using the new blocks introduced in Minecraft 1.17. Before we start with the transformation though, I wanted to thank you all for the amazing feedback you are giving me recently in terms of likes and comments, and I really truly appreciate it and really thank you very much. But let's get into the nitty-gritty now. I'm starting off by clearing all the trees in the area and patching up some holes and, overall get the canvas ready to work on. Since this biome is already almost completely surrounded by a river, I decided to continue what the world generation didn't finish and completely isolate this and make it into an island. With that done now, it is really time to start with biome transformation, and I want to create two opposing sides as you've seen in the intro sequence, and one of them is supposed to be a dark one and the other one is supposed to be a light one, which are both taking over the land. For the dark side I decided to use smooth basalt as the main block in the ground, and I started placing the blocks all by hand to begin with, and that took so long. Did I mention this took a long time? Luckily there are commands in Minecraft, and after suffering for literally hours, I remembered that. That made things so much easier. With all the smooth basalt finally placed, I go ahead and approach the light side, and I decide to change the ground to purple concrete powder, because it's supposed to be a more magical kind of side and I associate purple with magic for some reason. But both sides are infesting and taking over the actual overworld biome, which I am imagining as a green and lush biome, so like really nice, and that is why I'm using the new best block in the game, if you are asking me at least, the moss block. The same block all over the ground doesn't look too great though, and while I was preparing mentally for another grind of randomly punching out blocks and placing other slightly different blocks, I stumbled across the beta for 1.17 World Edit. I've never used that mod before, but it is great. I only just scratched the surface, but with just a few commands my pickaxe suddenly changed blocks wherever I right-clicked. The purple concrete powder I mix up with some purple wool, and on the dark side I add some blackstone and regular basalt. The lush biome is mixed up with grass blocks and coarse dirt. Now it is time for some trees. I start with the lush region, and of course I use the new azalea leaves here, which are so beautiful. I use spruce fences as branches, and later I also add them as roots to the trees. The leaves I add on the top of the branches and let them drop down. And for some lighting, I add the glowberries to the branches. I use the same tree structure for the light and the dark region, but in the light region I use acacia wood for the stem, andesite walls for the roots and branches, and the amethyst block as leaves. I also add some amethyst crystals as flowers or fruits or something and sprinkle them on the ground of the bottom of the trees. For the trees in the dark region I go with the crimson hyphae, with the crimson fence as roots and branches, and for the leaves I use a mix of red wool, concrete and glazed terracotta. To place the crimson roots and the crimson fungus on the ground, I bring in my new friend, the World Edit brush again. After spending a couple hours placing trees and foliage, I decided it's time for pathways. I brush them in using World Edit, and I use a mix of black concrete and its powder for the dark region, coarse dirt and exposed copper blocks with granite for the Lush biome pathways, and I use purple concrete for the light region pathways. Now that the nature part is kinda done, I put in a couple structures. For the light region I keep it rather simple and I only build a couple houses that are similar to those of naturally spawning villages. For the walls I use the new calcite block, and to break it up a little bit I use stripped spruce logs. The last house I wanted to be a bit larger, but that didn't quite work out so well, so I scrapped that idea and just place a normal house in its place. For the dark side I modify the already existing outpost. I replace the cobblestone with cobbled deep slate and strip the logs of the build. The bright birchwood planks I replace with crimson planks. Coming to the roof, I first give it a deep slate outline to fit with the bottom part, and a couple layers into the roof I decide that it might look cool to add an additional story to the build. And with that, the biome transformation is finished. I really hope you enjoyed it. I spent a long time with this project and I'm really happy that it is done now, and I really like how it turned out. But before I finish this video, I really want to check out this landscape now with shaders, which was luckily added just yesterday to Optifine. This looks so nice. Oh yeah, off camera I also added these crystals, but only in the purple light biome region thingy. Not too sure about them, to be honest. Oh. I could just continue running around with these amethyst shards. And there is the dark tower looming above the land. But I definitely like the look of this biome here. This lushness is just great. Oh yeah. This is what I wanted, exactly this. Nice. The glowberries are just making the trees pop from the environment a little bit more. That is so cool. And the dark region feels really, really dangerous at night. Oh, jeez. I think usually these crystals give off some kind of light. We should check this out without shaders. Oh yeah, look at this. This biome now is really the light biome. There's so much brightness to this at night, it's incredible. But that is all for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know down in the comments what you think about what I have done here. While you're down there in the comment section, leave a like and subscribe so you don't miss the next video. And until then, I wish you a super great time and say bye bye!